It's week one. NFL kickoff is just an hour and a half away. I'm Emo Cowboy, aka Tyler of the Fantasy Sanctuary, here to come answer your start sit questions, give you all the heads up news and all the breaking stuff going on this morning. And boy, is there a lot of stuff breaking this morning. So let's get into it. Drop your start sit questions in the chat and let's get rolling. What is up, folks? Bear with me this morning. Barely any voice left over after a fun week in Vegas with all the fine folks from the ship chasing party and all the main event drafts going on. FFPC had a good time, and we're paying for it dearly. All right, and just wanna throw a few things out. I'm gonna try to get to the Discord and YouTube members first. They get priority. I've got a Google sheet that the fine Discord folks dropped. I'm going to hit those real quick at the top. So if you want to get priority answers, become a YouTube member and hop in the Discord. I see the members in the chat, and then you can submit your start sit questions ahead of time, and I get to check those out and give those answers. And a lot of the people get answers before I go live Sunday mornings. So just want to give a heads up on that. Real quick, little news and notes. So you get premium servicing when you're a member here. All right. So first start sit question we got from Rory in the Discord, aka B Raven 30. He's asking start one of Geno, Rodgers, or Bryce. 4-point touchdown. We're gonna go Geno. His setup is fantastic. His line, his folks are healthy. Vegas totals are nice. The line seemingly healthy. Lockett's all ready to go. No one's being managed on their snaps. Geno's the play. We got Keon Coleman or Addison, PPR. Looks like Curtis Samuel's going to go today. He's not going to sit. So everybody's going to be active. Addison's looking active as well, given all of that. So, but on the injury side of things, do want to note he's coming off a high ankle sprain, and I'm going to pull up the Mueller injury database that I have at my fingertips because I subscribe and pay for that to give y'all a little bit of an edge. I'm going to go check that out. Yeah, he's expecting Addison around 80 to 85% health with a 15 to 20% re-injury risk. So, Rory, going to say, let's go Coleman. Check out what the rookies got because Addison probably not on a pitch count, but definitely not at like full health. Let's check out Jalen Naylor. I don't remember if he's going to. Yeah, let's check and see if Naylor's going to miss any time. Yeah, Jalen's cleared for week one, so it's not like there's not going to be that many other folks going. So yeah, go Keon Coleman, PPR. 4-point passing touchdown, Caleb Williams or Hawk to for quarterback. Gonna say let's go Caleb. You get the rushing upside that Caleb offers, and Tua's he's got a limited ceiling unless he goes nuclear via passing. And then we've got a 6-point passing touchdown for Breece or Geno. I'm assuming this is a super flex question. 6-point passing touchdown with quarterback. I think you got to go to Geno there. His raw projection is going to be much higher than Breece. Okay, that's all the Discord start sit questions we've got. Let's see what we got going on. GM Rob, called you Robert. That's on me. GM Bindles, appreciate you supporting all season long. All right, first start sit question we got: Fields or Jayden Daniels? That's a good one. I am going to say Jayden Daniels. Both very similar rushing. Jayden Daniels got a extremely underrated rushing floor, and I expect that to be a much higher passing volume game. with, expecting the Bucs to really push Washington through the air with their very weak secondary. So you get that rushing and passing, and he's been prepped all week to start versus Fields getting the start this morning. And I wouldn't put it past the Steelers for trying to kind of limit and manage Fields early. Miso asks, what do I do with Mark Andrews? Fluky game, 53, 57 plays and dropbacks. Dropbacks for Baltimore, very, very odd. He got bracketed. And if you've looked at the splits, KC does a really good job with Steve Spagnuolo defenses kind of taking away Mark Andrews. I think previously he had not surpassed 57 passing touchdown, 27 receiving yards in a long time. So you hold on to Andrews. Don't panic. Bindle's agreeing with Gino. Crispy, what up? Appreciate you. Chase Brown or Tony Pollard? We both expect them to be splitting the backfield. That said, we know for a fact Tony's going to have a more involved receiving game role than Chase Brown is in this offense. Jamar Chase may be starting. He said if he does play, he's going to be on a snap count. So I lean Tony Pollard. Tony Pollard because that game's totals project much better. Cincinnati doesn't have to do a whole lot versus this Jacoby Brissett, New England Patriots. So I lean Tony Pollard, especially if they're at all concerned about pass protecting Joe Burrow with potentially no Jamar Chase and no T. Higgins this week. Let's see. Exactly, Rory. We're winning week 1 before we win week 17. Real St. Pat joining, saying your wife usually upset about 7 hours of commercial-free football, but today she's super happy and she says going to jiu-jitsu. Concern or not? Ooh, that depends. Jiu-jitsu, what's the teacher look like? You know what? Maybe she just knows that you've spent all summer being a good little boy, giving her all the attention in the world, and definitely not drafting a ton of best ball and redraft teams. All right, Miso, you're giving me a whole lot here to work with. What do I think of your half PPR team? Dak, Connor, Stevenson, CD, Puka, Neighbors, Andrews, Steelers, Butler, Jalen Warren. You got a nice team. You got some depth. You'll be fine. You'll be very fine. Love Stars asking Addison or McConkey full PPR 4-point receiving touchdown. McConkey easily. DJ Chark is out. McConkey's going to be running minimum 80% of the snaps. Could be full snap per. Like that's the thing. His floor is like 75% to 80% snaps. His ceiling is 100% snaps, both inside and outside. Chark is out. He's their best receiver. Palmer's their second best receiver. He's had great rapport on critical downs. So we don't overthink. We go with this is why you drafted McConkey. Addison, McConkey's at 100% health. Addison's not. That's that alone. You're going to expect to see 15 to 20% production dip minimum for Addison. Sam Darnold's at quarterback. We're about to see, is this going to be normal like Kirk or not? So it's McConkey for full PPR easily. Richard Bilkey, which quarterbacks are you playing Fields over in 4-point per touchdown leagues? I mean, Fields is slotting easily ahead of like half the quarterbacks. So you're kind of asking, it's more of like, who am I not starting him over, right? Which is a good question because I'm starting him over a lot of guys. I'm looking at a list so I can give you my because four touchdowns, 4 points per touchdown. You're getting the insane rushing floor. So I'd say I'm probably starting him over. I'm probably starting him over Kirk Cousins. And potentially Jared Goff. Like that Jared Goff Tua range. They both that's pure pocket passers, but they do have really nice matchups for the passing game. Trevor Lawrence is tough because he's got some rushing floor and his passing outlook's pretty good. But I'd say, he's like right behind that Jaden Daniels, Caleb Williams tier for me. Answer your question. No problem, Miso. Good luck. Yeah, y'all. So one thing I want to, well, we've got kind of a lull in the chat between start sit questions. I do just want to, this is kind of my process is to, I value the injury stuff first and foremost. So looking through Jeff Mueller and Edwin Porras' stuff, obviously the Jamar Chase thing is going to be, interesting. So the news and notes this morning is that Tyreek Hill was detained for a traffic violation, but he's released. He's expected to play today. So don't freak out over that. Jamar Chase is apparently angling to potentially be limited because of illness and not a contract in place. Injury wise, gonna see if I missed anything. Rashid Shaheed full go with toe. So no injury there. Keenan Allen full practice Friday, expected to play today. Should not expect anything production dip wise. Now re-injury, there is a re-injury concern, but there's nothing really you can do too much about that besides age concern. You drafted an older guy with a rookie quarterback. If he's full practice on Friday, you play him. Same thing, Puka, removed from the injury report. So Puka is all good to go. All right. So I'm not seeing any injury news late breaking that I missed. And then I'm going to go through. No problem, Richard. Yeah. So the thing is, don't forget that Fields has access to a rushing floor that gives him 8 to 12 points off the bat. It's against the Falcons, right? Falcons are going to be passing. This should be a really competitive game. And the Steelers have to get off to a hot start. And we know that Fields, when the shit's on the fan, he's going to rush a lot. So, if he projects to, at minimum, 15 to 17 points, meet that threshold with less than 150 passing yards and potentially no touchdowns, which is like that Tua golf range, I'm easily starting him because he's giving you that access to a 25 to 40 point game at his tail outcome. And you win by not by getting everybody scoring 10 to 12 points. You win by having one or two players completely dominate your week. What up, Snowman? How's it going? We are back, baby. Week 1 starts it. It's the good shit. Yeah, Field Yates, I don't really think they give a shit about a 4th pick instead of a 6th round pick if their other options hurt and not going to be a big thing. Let's see. Roshan Johnson news was limited in practice, but then full participant Friday. You know what would be a good exercise is let me get all of the maybe checking the team injury reports. And then I can reference that ahead of time for y'all. Does that sound helpful? There we go. Let's do this. All right. Jaylen Warren, full practice as of Friday, so you are good to go with Jaylen. Should have no concerns. Roman Wilson's still limited off that high ankle sprain. We expected him to potentially miss week 1. He does miss week 1. So with Fields likely to start, I'd say kind of wheels up for George Pickens' Newton game ceiling, but realize his floor is potentially lower, considering Russ Wilson a little bit better at operating in structure and rhythm. But he's also the only receiving option worth a damn this week. George, Javonte or Brian Robinson, non-PPR. Javonte for the workload, for sure. This week, I expect Javonte to be used as the true workhorse. We're expecting 65 to 75% workload minimum. His quarterback in Bo Nix is not going to steal nearly as much rushing work as Jaden Daniels does. They are going to check down. They might be the fifth or top 5, if not the single leading team this season in running back targets. Even if non-PPR, a target is more valuable than a carry. So we're going Javonte today because he has a similar goal line role as Brian Robinson, but we expect him to get a lot more work just from there. I do like Brian Robinson a lot this week, but preseason showed us that B-Rob and Eckler are going to split pretty 50-50, and to be seen how Eckler is going to be used. We expect maybe some of like the passing down stuff, but I still lean Javonte there. Snowman says, can't wait for kickoff. Had to get out of bed at 3 a.m. and take a gummy because I couldn't sleep. Luckily, I was up for 30 hours when I landed yesterday from Vegas. So when my head hit the bed, I was out. But that's awesome. We are pumped. James, what's up? Appreciate you, man. Good luck, you too, brother. Good luck, everybody. We're here to win our week 1 matchups, feel good about our bags, and not forget about the end goal. I see one more question. Let me get through another team injury report. Really, the one today to note is, double checking for any looks like Antonio Gibson was limited in practice with a hip. So potentially more Stevenson work if Gibson misses any time. Hip stuff can be weird. Hunter Henry noted full practice, sort of a phantom injury he was missing time with. Seemingly no issues, full go today. So it seems like hit. And don't forget the Alex Van Pelt Stefanski Cleveland style offense that was brought here with the new OC, with Jacoby usually previously working with Cleveland and the Stefanski Alex Van Pelt coaching tree. Expect a lot of running back and tight end involvement in the passing game, especially with a really questionable O-line. The big one to note for the Bengals is Ja'Marr Chase still questionable, and T. Higgins not expected to play today with his hamstring. And this could be a multi-week injury considering he did not practice this week at all. So this might be more than a 1-week miss, FYI. Yoshi super wheels up Andre Yoshibas for the Bengals if Chase is on a snap count and missing time. Seems like he and Trenton Irwin were working right behind Ja'Marr Chase for warmups. What up, Hartman, you Avi profile weirdo? All right, Richard Bilkey saying with Higgins out and if Chase sits, you think Yoshibas or Irwin sneak into your I mean, I'm expecting Yoshi to work as the pseudo wide receiver 2 with Higgins out. Chase, it sounds like from everybody reporting he's going to be playing, but playing limited snaps. So might just be critical downs, and we have no idea what kind of effort he's putting out there because he's already given himself the, illness out. So I'd say Yoshi, I'm probably playing Yoshi, like the guys like Addison. I would be tempted to play a full health Yoshi considering how much he's worked well with Chase and had a good rapport in camp. I think Trenton Irwin is less interesting than Gesicki. I think it sure seems like the passing offense is going to flow through Higgins, Chase, Yoshi, Gesicki, with Higgins out and Chase potentially on some sort of weird snap count. I'd say the boost likely goes to Yoshi, a little bit more with Gesicki for critical downs potentially, and most likely a little bit more running back involvement. Irwin's a DFS start. I think Yoshi becomes kind of a good chalk safe go there. Everyone is streaming. Everybody knows. Everybody wants the start sits. You know what? That's funny. I got a shower because the hair's a mess. But I'll give you a little bit more of the hair. There you go. No, let's go tops. There we go. Let's go tops. All right. Rory asking Chase or Evans PPR. I'm assuming you're asking Ja'Marr Chase versus Mike Evans. And I'd say Mike Evans might be his best matchup all season, despite Godwin being full go. If Chase is going to be on some weird ass snap count, you either do one of two things. You just say, Ja'Marr Chase, go Burr, I don't care. Or you capitulate for the guy more likely to play the full ass game. Yeah, that's tough. I think I personally would go Mike Evans. I know one guy like Mike Evans has got an insanely good matchup versus that very weak Emmanuel Forbes led Washington back end, and he's not we know for a fact he's not going to miss any time. Ja'Marr Chase could play 80% of the snaps to being his limited snap route. But we've also seen what I want folks to remember is we've seen weird shit from Zach Taylor and the Bengals staff. And if I'm putting a guy in my lineup, I'd appreciate, a good feeling that they're going to start at, 50+% of the game. James asking, how likely is it that Chase says, I got a thing with him back or something? I'm not going. Well, so that's the thing. He was questionable coming into today's game because of an illness. And the beats are reporting, questionable with illness, and don't know how much he's going to play. So he's already got that out. Yeah, I would avoid the potential goose egg, right? Because you run the risk that the first drive, Chase gets a little nicked up and just takes himself out of the game. I don't want to stare at that all day if I was you. Enjoy your Sunday. Put Evans in because Evans has the safer floor without any of this weird stuff going on. And he's also got an insane matchup. I mean, he could easily go for 150 yards and 3 touchdowns today. And I've built a lot of lineups with the Bucks passing game. Will note that Addison was full participation in practice, so he's definitely playing today. It's just he's likely playing at stub 100% health. Jalen Miller was also full participant. Checking on the Titans Bears. I would shy away from Nuke Hopkins this week unless you have truly dire options. Limited in participation. The knee thing. Let me look at Jeff's injury report database before I go off spouting bullshit. But I was reading the tweets he was sending while I was in Vegas. He wasn't expecting him to play in week 1. It was a confirmed MCL sprain. He was limited in practice all week. Could very well end up being kind of like a decoy play. At that age, I think what you're playing him there for is touchdown upside. Hartman had a question. Kendrick Lamar announced as a Super Bowl halftime show. What does this mean for week 1? Bullish. They're actually letting the youth get some music. That means fantasy and betting has brought so much attention to the NFL that they can't ignore and only do old white military propaganda anymore. What's up, historical anomalies? People are asking what the highlight of Vegas was. That's a good question. Man, as I recount Vegas, I'd say, I mean, the ship chasing party was awesome, man. It's always so good to see all the folks in ship chasing show up, say hey, meet familiar faces, meet new faces, swap stories. It was awesome seeing everybody. Gretch, Pat, and Pete are salt of the earth, 10 out of 10 folks. They are so awesome, so much fun. They mingled the entire time. I think almost Pete ended up bouncing around like 1:30. The party kicked off at 9. And Gretchen Crane stayed till like I left at around like 2:33 because I had to go get my shit and catch my flight back. Boarding at 4:30. So everybody was up super late. We had a blast. Everybody showed up. Everybody partied. Lots of booze. I was drunk multiple times Friday. The pools were great. The weather was great. The people were awesome. That was definitely the highlight. I will say the watch party, the Thursday watch parties, truly fantastic. Like back-to-back years, getting to watch those Thursday games with everybody post-draft is so much fun. John Warner ripping his shirt off multiple times and howling because he had a like 600 or 650 to 1 likely anytime touchdown ticket that cashed, and he had like 18% likely in BBM. So him getting the like victory lap bad, Gretsch going nuts for every worthy touchdown, every worthy Rashee Rice catch. That's that I think the first worthy touchdown, Kerrane fucking like ran backwards for like 80 feet. Like the Thursday watch parties with the ship chasers are so much fun. We talk so much shit. We victory lap everything. It was a good ass time, and we did Top Golf after that. Almost got a bridal party to come join us till the bride shut it down. So what are you gonna do? Have I slept? So I was up for like 30, 32 hours before I finally took like a 3-hour nap yesterday. And then I slept for probably like, I don't know, 9, 10 hours last night. So yes. What up, Martin? It's game day, baby. Fins up. Started off with a Tyree killed pissed off motorcycle cop. Yeah. So Keenan full go. Your only concern there is re-injury, but I don't think you can really worry too much about that from a realistic projection standpoint. Production wise, we don't expect him to get any production dip. I'll double check that, but I believe that was the case. Let's see. Checking Jeff's database. Yeah, Jeff is saying it carries a 15 to 20% re-injury risk of the heel bruise, could limit effectiveness. He leans towards him as a fade. I'm not seeing any heel historical production, so I can check and see if Edwin has a note on him. Also, thank God, Jordan Love, man, was terrified. He tore his ACL. Oh, also a note on the Russ calf thing. Soft tissue stuff lingers, especially with older guys. We've seen this with Keenan. We've seen this with Thielen. We've seen this with Russ Wilson before when he was a Seahawk. And then we saw this with Burrow last year where he ended up getting IR for 4 weeks with his soft tissue stuff. So Fields is probably here to stay for a while, even if he doesn't play really well. Another good reason to snag him on the wire today, even if you have better options to start him, awesome. But he's likely to outscore Josh Allen every week, and you can only say that about like 3 quarterbacks. Looks like all good for the Cardinals. And then on the Bills side of the house, Curtis Samuel beat the whole lost his toe and Nam thing. So Bills get full health wide receiver rotation, and so it'll be very interesting to see because I think Curtis Samuel being active comes at the behest of Shakir more so than it does Keon. I expect Keon to be most likely a full-time player given his size and if he truly did have a good camp. All right. James saying, nice. Hartman, any DSTs you're high on this week? I'm mainly debating between the Bears, Chargers. Yeah, and those are the same kind of Ds I've been targeting. I ended up going Bears. I'm going to chase the high passing volume, high volatile Levis for turnovers because he's live to give you. I mean, I want to say Levis, I was taking his underdog higher lower sacks and cashing more weeks than I wasn't. Some weeks his sack line was like 3.5. So between sacks and turnovers, and apparently the Bears still seemingly being a really talented defense because they were giving Caleb and the offense fits all summer. I'd say week 1 full health. I like the Bears as a quality defense and a high quality matchup for turnovers and sacks. Chargers is a good shout. I worry about the passing volume and just the quality of defense. I mean, the coaching got better, but the personnel kind of stayed the same. The New York Giants and Vikings one is a good target. I think Dimes is apparently pretty good against the blitz, and the Vikings were one of the top, if not the top, blitz defense last year under Brian Flores. Their quality didn't really get that much better, so this might be a game where Dimes kind of gets to no pun intended, nickel and dime the defense to death, and you don't really get that many turnovers just because the ADOT's so low, and you're just hoping for sacks. The Giants' defense versus Sam Darnold is appealing for the same like Levis reason, turnovers. That said, with a full health Jefferson, Naylor, and Addison both active, I like the Bears. It's probably the Bears, then the Giants defense, then the Chargers defense, then the Vikings defense for me, in that order. Hey man, you gotta have fun when your guys hit. Martin asking PPR, Monty or Godwin? Godwin, easily, not even blinking. Jahmyr Gibbs was full go, if I'm not mistaken. Let me check the database. I feel like the Oracle from Batman. Let's see. That's the wrong one. Yeah, he's gonna play, and then let's see. Where are the running backs? Here we go. Yeah, so I'd expect pretty normal workload overall. And Godwin's got a fantastic. We talked about the Bucks at the top. Godwin's got a fantastic matchup. So, and he's working back in the slot where he's more effective. So it's Godwin for sure. I know ball. What up, Thad? Good luck, Bubba. If you got any burning start sit questions, I'm here. Get some music going. Maybe we won't. I'm looking at all these stupid fucking sound effects. Jesus. Yeah. Good luck, everybody. Is everybody else as excited as I am for kickoff today, man? It's gonna be so nice. Where did there it went? Like it just feels so, dude. Like Thursday felt so. Now the Thursday watch party was probably the highlight of Vegas because it was so fucking nice to have football back. Oh man, it felt so good. I also did the Punk Rock Museum with Chung from the Discord. That was a lot of fun. I had a blast. That definitely worth going. Cool shit. Holla. All right, Hartman says non-PPR Waddle, Pickens, Connor. Ooh. It's definitely Waddle or Connor for me, given projected volume. When you say non-PPR, are you saying just standard, like touchdown or bust? Because then it's Connor. If it's half PPR, I'd still go. I lean Connor. I'll check the projections to check me. Yeah, I'd go Connor. The over-under is only, I mean, it's higher for Jacksonville, Miami, but we expect Buffalo to push that defense real hard. I'd say his receiving line was too low. I'm gonna put in a pick 'em for that before game time starts. But projections also favor Connor, so I'd lean Connor because you get that red zone stuff. Yeah, standard, it's Connor for sure. Shimmy, shimmy, shimmy. Hoosier, what up, Bubba? His pants are tight. Is that a red zone in your pants? Or are you just happy to see football? Any start sits? Otherwise, let me go back and double check. All right, we left off on Curtis Samuel being active. Miles Sanders. One note, it looks like both Ian Thomas and Tommy Trimble for the Panthers are out at tight end, which leaves the rookie Sanders as the only tight end active for game day. So if you're in a pinch, in a bind, especially in tight end premium, Sanders a very worthwhile dart. I'd probably still start Zach Ertz over him, given the red zone role and the Cliff Kingsbury offense. But if you're in a bind, I think I'd start Sanders over any of the Minnesota guys and even the New York Giants tight ends. Kyler Murray or Goff? Kyler Murray. Yeah, exactly. People forget Kyler Murray put up a bunch of like QB1 weeks last season, despite what Michael Wilson being the main guy. He now gets Marv. He now gets another year in this offense, and he's a year removed from the ACL. We saw him get back to form rushing wise, and he's got just as good of a rushing floor as a lot of the other quarterbacks. So Kyler Murray, top 10 quarterback this week for sure. When in doubt, you go with the rushing quarterback. I know Goff's going to have a lot. Goff is a super nice floor safe option given the matchups in the dome and at home he's going to have for like 14 weeks, but he still doesn't rush. And that offense the last few years has like led the league in running back attempts in the red zone. So Goff's floor is really low considering he could throw no touchdowns in a week, and Murray's floor is really nice because he can rush for 30 to 50 yards and a potentially touchdown. Indiana, there you go. Best ball on call. What's up, bud? How you doing? Happy kickoff Sunday, baby. So I will say, like, when in doubt, just Adam Harstead, super smart guy, does a lot of dynasty stuff. He's got some awesome heuristics about like playing fantasy football, and he's been playing fantasy football since like the 90s. And his simple heuristic that I always go back to is just when in doubt, treat it like the stock market. You can't beat the market by like timing it. So just when in doubt, go with projections and just let it ride. And my thing with quarterbacks is like in fantasy, when in doubt, go with the guy with rushing. All right, go check Twitter. Make sure we're not missing any news. Jamar Chase officially active. So nothing shocking there. Good troll by the Cowboys to extend both Lamb and Dak right into the game. Ooh, we have a little injury update. Your boy was right. Look at that. For the Keenan Allen thing, he thought it was a heel bone bruise. And the update this morning, with Hopkins expected to play and Keenan expected to play, was that it's a cleat issue, not a heel bone bruise. And the infamous Fat Keenan was a typo. So there you go. I went from we don't see any heel production dip in his database, but he was like, vibes wise. Turns out vibes are wrong. Keenan full go. So I think the Bears receivers you probably want to trust the most. Keenan, the target share dominator, locked in full-time role, potentially rotating every once in a while out with Rome. So I guess like DJ Moore probably running the most routes a la Nico and the Texans. But I think from a target share standpoint, Keenan has a much higher and safer floor for PPR. In half PPR, I see the temptation to go DJ Moore. You horny bastard. Thad saying he won a league with Murray off waivers. Nice. Yeah, the Kyler Murray thing last year was ridiculous. If y'all remember. Oh man. Vegas took it out of me. Checking the Miami. Let's see. Looking at the Saints real quick. A.T. Perry did not practice and is questionable. Not that he mattered, but if you're looking for a dart throw, maybe not great. Let's see. Looking at what is this, the Dolphins? Yeah, Dolphins. Oh, Malik Washington did not DNP and out with a quad. That's such a bummer. Boost to Jonnu Smith, though, because they kind of both potentially operate as like those low ADOT yak guys. Jalen Wright, healthy scratch. Never forget, this is the same team that healthy scratched Devon Achane last year, week 1. Don't overreact. Probably just a game plan thing. Martin said, "Do you do any of your accents when in Vegas?" I did a couple when asked. Vegas was fun, man. Noah Fant was full practice. Love to see that. Tyler Lockett was full practice, ending the week with his thigh. Let me go check the injury database for Lockett. Because it's interesting that he's listed as a thigh, but we heard it was a knee thing. And we saw him with a patellar tendon brace. So that's interesting. I'm looking here. He's expecting Lockett to be a little limited with that injury, for what it's worth. So any of you JSN slappies, this is your time. Speaking of Vegas, I lost my dad in Spearmint Rhino. What was your dad's name? Ace Ventura? Yeah, my buddy got married. We went to When We Were Young festival a few years ago. He got married the day before the concert at Whitechapel. And then we hit the strip club. He and his tux, his wife in her lovely dress. It was a good time. Vegas is fun. Lots to do, lots to see. The best people watching on the planet. Let's see. No one worth mentioning on the Raiders. DJ Chark was listed out a while ago. Palmer and Herbert both full practice. Herbert expect to see on the injury report all year as he manages potential plantar fasciitis flare-ups. Apparently, it's more of just like if it flares up, they shoot him up, and it's a pain tolerance thing. So we just expect to manage that. But other than that, look who's not on the injury report. Lad oft-injured McConkey, as Davis Maddock called him. Suck it, Davis. Good, I'm glad you got the reference. Let's see. Cowboys. Looks like Brandon Cooks avoided the injury designation, so that's pretty promising. Because I remember he got listed with something a while ago. What was it? It was knee swelling a couple weeks ago. So not on their injury report. And yeah, so that's good. Good news. Good news for the passing game there. Mike Evans was limited in practice. That's interesting. Let me go check the report and see why. That's interesting. I haven't seen anything about him. I'm checking for Mike Evans I'm not seeing anything. Wonder if that's a typo. I'm not seeing anything, and I didn't hear anything about it. Interesting. Let's see. Oh, limited with rest. This is why you check. You could at least list the fucking reason, NFL.com. You get the fucking reasons. No needles from the Chargers staff allowed within 50 feet of Justin Herbert. We know what happened last time. All right, let's see. Mike Williams, full participation in practice, but back when he was signed, all through camp, and then leading up to game 1. They say they want to manage his snaps and workload like they did with Breece Hall last year coming off the ACL, so be aware. And the infamous McCaffrey thing, apparently not a big deal. Don't overreact, but handcuff season, soft tissue stuff. Jordan Mason should be rostered everywhere. Off to be a parent before I ignore my family for the rest of the evening. Enjoy the games to you as well, Martin. Good luck. Enjoy. Go Fins. Get your boys. Will Tyreek Hill go absolutely Scotty Scheffler on the Jacksonville Jaguars this morning? Oh, man. I'm fucking tired. I'm ready to kick my legs up on the couch. Just watch games. Also, the Giants throwback jerseys today are hideous. Not seeing any shocking developments. Which is good. Why do you hate your team? Your fantasy team and your real life NFL team? And if so, why'd you draft like a narc instead of like a goddamn alpha? I want to build a pick'em. You want to build a pick'em? Oh, yeah, your Giants suck, bro. All right, let's build a pick'em. Did I lose my Dak promo? That's bullshit. Oh, no, I used it. Never mind. Do I have any nutted pick'ems? What are the ones I have live? I made a couple right before taking off to Vegas. I built an all vulture with Pacheco, Saquon, Connor, Moss, Mixon, Etienne, Najee, and JT. Let's see. This one was fun. I got the early Rico line, Javonte Williams receptions, Marvin Harrison, the discounted total yards, Watson's rushing yards, Ford's receptions. I've got Ford in a bunch of DK lineups this morning as my cheap running back. The Ertz touchdown line I like a lot for the red zone stuff, and then Baker Mayfield's passing yards. I would build a lot of the Bucks passing game slips like Baker, Godwin, Evans. Baker, Godwin a lot. I think the Godwin. What's the Godwin we're talking about it. Let's just stick what all the Buccaneers lines are this morning. I'd still take the higher on Baker. Godwin's receptions and yards. It's probably pretty tight to the projection. Let's see if any of these are standing out. It's so insane you can do targets now. That's crazy. Let's see. I think they could be good for fantasy for sure. If the line sucks, Dimes is going to suck. So it really just depends. I could see them not really being good outside of Neighbors and Singletary most weeks. Let me see. So looks like the under on receptions is where the smart money's at, which is interesting. I think that underrates his slot role though. But just want to make that known. Okay, looks like he started out at 5 receptions. He's ended at 5.5 on underdogs. Maybe that's why. I'd still be tempted to take the over. Let's see. Receiving yards. Yeah, everywhere but FanDuel has him at 58.5 with it either 50-50 or at Caesars it's 50.5 with the minus 119 for the over versus 115 for the under. So let's do this. Do a little correlated slip. Check the chat. Let's see. I think they win more than 6.5 games. I mean, that's not saying much, is it? I mean, I think Neighbors helps them do that. I think they win more than 6.5 if the O-line isn't as bad as we think it is, and the defense is better than like the defense could outperform and they could win some ugly games. I just wouldn't feel good about it. Real alphas would take the McMillan over, and that's what we're doing. And then do the Washington side of the game. Devin Davis, welcome. Did one dog bowl team this week, and Jamar is on it. I'm pissed. Is he even going to play the entire game? He's going to play. Yeah, how much of the game is he going to play is the question. That's pretty bad. I could rip a dog bowl right now with Andre Yoshivas and Crush, but I'm tired. I'll grind it next week. What's up, No Cat Mac? We're doing all right. We grind away. All right, on the Washington side of things for this Buccaneers bring back. Jaden Daniels. The completion percentage is probably too low given the ADOT. But this is why, look at that. His fucking rushing line is 40 rushing yards for week 1, and I'm still tempted to take the over. McLaurin, this one's interesting because he should just be fucking peppered. I think at worst you could neutral on the receptions. Yeah, his targets, that's it's truly insane. Let me check on the chat. Pick'ems do we like? I had already built out a couple. I'm gonna build a Bucks Washington one real quick. We did we've got Baker, Godwin, and McMillan all over higher on the yards. And then I'm going to debate between McLaurin on the receptions or not. But yes, Neighbors should help that a lot. Brian Robinson line's looking very enticing, but Eckler could be very involved from no cap Mac. Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I expect them to split, but it's how is the split going to work out? Thibodeau. It's fine. Let's see. Eckler's lines, pretty low rushing line. Receptions juiced to the. Ooh, yeah, I'll take one less yard on the Baker. All right. Pick'ems are adjusting as we speak. Jaden's rushing line just got adjusted down a yard. Kind of tempted. I'm just putting guys in. I'll let you know what we lock in. I want to get some nice, smart lines. It's like a Brian Robinson. So Brian Robinson, more rushing yards projected with 3 less receiving yards than, sorry, not 3, 14 less than Eckler. I do agree they look enticing from the rushing attempt standpoint. The question is, I think this offense, the pace should be high, and they will run a lot. Just how much will they run Robinson and Eckler versus Jaden? That's the question. This is interesting. If Noah Brown is starting, this line is egregious. Did we get any news on Noah Brown? Maybe that's the play. You go for up to the stupidly low line and the guy that was just signed. Have we heard anything about if he'll be? Let's see. Yeah, is it going to be Zacchaeus or Noah Brown running as the 2? That's tempting. The depth chart has it as Terry, Olamide, and Noah as the starting 3. It's got Brian Robinson listed as the starter as well, for whatever it's worth. Yeah, I mean, except for the fact he's like an 8-year vet, you know? I'm tempted. I'm tempted. We'll wait. We'll wait. Let's see. You know what? What feels more like the sharp? I think the reception's higher, not the Brian Robinson one for rushing attempts. That said, it's Cliff. They're gonna run a shitload. Let's go check. Let's go peep the Ertz. Oh, never mind. Okay, I figured it out. I figured what we're gonna do. We're just gonna do the Zach Ertz receptions. That's too easy. I expect him to get fucking 5 to 7 targets today. That's easy. So right now we got the Baker, Godwin, McMillan. And the question is, do we want to lock in the McMillan or do we want to fuck around with the Otten? Because I think he could get that on 1 catch. The question is, how many catches is he going to get? I still like it a lot, though. Let's see. What was there a spicy Evans we could spice this up with? Let's see. They expect him to get more than 4.5 receptions. I think that's obviously the sharp play on that. Yeah, Ertz is gonna have I mean, we just saw it last year with like the Cliff style offense. It's like a bunch of low A-dot bullshit with zero yak. All right, we'll make it a 5-legger. You like this? Baker higher passing, Godwin higher receiving, McMillan higher receiving, Ertz receptions higher, and Mike Evans receptions higher for a little 8-2-9. Hartman likes Diggs this week. They think you feed him. Let's go check the Houston lines. Good shout. I like the Nico line, honestly. I like that. Look, they're giving you almost no action on that. That feels nice. All right, Diggs. 16.5 receiving yards, 5 receptions. I think the longest reception for these Houston guys is definitely interesting because I think you're going to see a lot of deep passing attempts. Let me see if anything stands out for Nico. I like higher receptions. This might be the lowest line he sees all year, especially versus like this. This could be a very easy blow up spot for Indianapolis with that secondary. The question just becomes if Houston wants to feed Mixon, which is very much in play given who they are as DeMeco Ryans and Bobby Slowick. Those guys love to run the ball when they shouldn't. So I would be tempted to take I like to do the quarterback rushing attempts. So I would take the lower rushing attempts for Stroud. They're either going to air it out or they're going to feed Mixon. I would lock in the lower rushing attempts for Stroud. I like Nico higher receptions than 5.5. I like Schultz lower than 3.5 receptions. Let's look at the Mixon line. 1.11 for touchdown. It's not bad. I'd want it a little bit higher, and then I'd be interested. I like the Mixon higher than 15.5 rushing attempts. But I think I like the 2.5 at 1.05 higher for receptions. Let me see. Anything else sticking out? I like the lower on the Brevin Jordan receiving yard. I don't expect them to run a lot of 2 tight end with all 3 of those receivers. A-chain, vulture, protection. Yes. Yeah. If he like gets to that goal line and then gets subbed out for the other guy. I like Mostert's lines a lot this week. He still is likely to be the goal line back. I was looking at him this morning, peeping around. They're going to lock in this Bucks thing, though. Do a little $10 on it. I like to fuck around. Okay. Mostly because, like I said, I already have, I think I made like, how many lines did I make with my discount stuff? Like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I made the 6 lines of the discounted lines, and then I did an all vulture protection running back line. Because if I'm going to fuck around with those stupid lines, I'm going to do it with a low buy-in for a high little, like, like a fun little stupid parlay slip, especially with the vulture protections ones. Yeah, you might be. Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah, let's read the promo that I haven't read since Tuesday. As a rush touchdown scored by a player who's not a designated running back. Okay. Very vague. Rush touchdown scored by a player. Oh, and because Jayden Reed's touchdown was a rushing score, that's why. Okay, interesting. Chirath asks Trevor Lawrence over Fields. Yeah. No, I think I'm starting Fields over Lawrence. That is the line though. That is the line. Lawrence has some rushing floor upside. Yeah, that's tough, right? Lawrence has the higher. Let me check some lines. Yeah, the Miami Vegas total's better. The pass yard over under is better. But the Fields, I mean, do they have a Fields lineup? Yeah, his passing yard is sub 190, but his rushing yard's 45 and a half. And their projections nearly identical. Slight favorite to T-Law. Let me see if. Yeah, go T-Law. Just in case they try to hide Fields and then chase the Vegas total. Hoosier says start 2, Chuba, Eckler, Warren. Chuba and Warren. For second QB with Allen in the other slot. Oh, I see. Oh shit, yeah. I mean, T-Law is safer from, like, they're gonna open up the thing. They want him to get going passing and running. Miami should push them. Pittsburgh could easily play slow, running a lot to try to manage the game down. So if I was projected to lose the game, I'd put Fields in there, hoping for the nuclear outcome. But I understand that if you want to play a little bit safer from game script, you could chase the higher Vegas total. So I think defensible, because of the late week kind of expectation, maybe T-Law this week. Yeah, I think T-Law's fine. Thanks, Harmon. Appreciate you, man. Yeah, best of luck. Full PPR. No, yeah, still, like, that's what I'm saying. Warren's likely to see just as much, if not more, passing game work. Considering that we know that the Russ Fields combo targets the running backs at an above average rate than normal rushing quarterbacks do. So from that standpoint, we saw Warren get a majority of. We saw Warren get more targets than Najee in the preseason. He's full practice, full participant. I expect the game to flow to the running backs. So from that perspective, I think Warren is the Eckler bet. On a potentially better rushing attack. Defensible to ask, but it's Warren and Najee are more of a 50-50 than Eckler and B-Rob are as of now. So, and also from a talent perspective, Warren's better than Eckler. So I still lean. And then Chuba should be worked like 80 to 85% of the workload this week. All right, I'm about to wrap this up. If you have any questions, how long are we gone for? Nice. We've been live for 69 minutes. I'll give us 5 more minutes, see if we get any more questions. I'm going to check for news. For you sweet animals. Oh, this is interesting. Jay Glazer with his early morning. Brandon Ayuk called off and traded the Steelers in the 11th hour to stay with the 49ers. So this was all bullshit. He just used the Steelers as a fake. Here. Are y'all going to be able to hear this? Did I share? Of course, user. I will always deep dive for you, brother. The thing with Jaden is his scramble rate is higher than Fields and Russ's are, but his sack rate is very similar. So from a target perspective, you don't want the scramble rate to be high if you're not going to see that many targets. They have to be designed targets. We know the Steelers are going to have a lot more designed targets to the running backs than Washington. What are we eating? Are you ready for this? This is fish crab patty pasta. Okay, I made this a couple days ago. Thawed it out. I needed some high protein and some Vegas recovery carbs. And I'm lazy and I'm tired. So we're eating fish pasta, essentially, because we also have vacation coming up, and I'm not trying to balloon. I got crabs. I got crabs in Vegas. Yeah, this is interesting. All right, checking for any more news. Last minute for all you good folks. If you have no start sits, I feel like we cranked away. It was good. Built a pick 'em slip, some Bucks, Washington stuff. I'm gonna have to listen to the rest of that report. Good luck to everybody on their dog bowl entries, their home leagues, their DFS lineups. Oh, you know what? Speaking of DFS, did I make sure to use all my stupid free tickets? Let's see what we got. Tailing off. Cool. About time to bounce. Okay, cool. We used all of our free tickets. That's the fun thing about being in Vegas, like mid-fucking week, is missing out on a bunch of promo stuff. All right, y'all. We're going to wrap it up, wind it down. Everybody's got football to go check out. Good luck on all your week 1 matchups. We hope you crush. If you have any last-minute start sit, leave them in the comments, and I will get to them. And then everybody in the Discord was getting their start sit questions answered all week long, even before I went live. So if you want that premium access, it's less than $1 to join the membership. Jump in the Discord, ask all the start sit questions you want, all the DFS lineup stuff you want to. Tom has awesome write-up stuff. Appreciate everyone for joining. Appreciate everyone for hanging out. I'm looking forward to spend every morning on Sunday before kickoff with you lovely folks. And with that, good luck. Have fun.